Welcome to CSV Cafe. Guys, it has been quite some weeks since I have posted the last video. I hope you had a chance to watch the introduction and all the episodes. Linda, welcome back. How are you?
Hey there, I'm doing great and ready to dive in. What's the hot topic today at the cafe?
Well, today at the cafe, Linda, you're gonna have to understand. I was on vacation. The last couple weeks, I was in Jamaica.
Oh, Jamaica. Sounds like you had a sunny escape. Did you bring any tropical inspiration back for today's episode?
I did. I did bring some inspiration. Actually, when I landed back in Florida as I was visiting family, I noticed something in a Dunkin' Donuts.
All right, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, so Dunkin' Donuts, sorry to cut you off, Linda.
No worries. I'm all ears. What did you notice at Dunkin' that's brewing into today's topic?
We were there. I was there with my wife, and we were ordering some coffee. Of course, it's Dunkin' Donuts, and when I'm in the States, Dunkin' Donuts is one of the places to go for coffee. Especially my wife enjoys their cold brews. And I realized I was sitting back and just observing. It looked like it was a new Dunkin' Donuts that just opened up, and it seemed that there was someone there that looked like a manager, and just as he had a different shirt on than the rest of the team that was working. And just by overhearing their conversation, it seemed as there was someone important coming in. So they looked like they were maybe an inspection or an audit, and it seemed that they were getting ready for this inspection and audit.
So that moment sparked some inspiration. I can guess where you're going, like a surprise audit, right? You're probably connecting that to how being prepared, whether for inspections or validation, makes all the difference.
Absolutely. It was incredible. And it just brought me some inspiration to bring back into this episode in preparation. And when you are already prepared, when you have implemented a proper uh, it's any activity. It could be computer system validation, which is the current topic. It could be on everything. If you're prepared, then you don't need to struggle in the last minute. Now, again, I am not preparedness police. However, I believe, at least within this topic of compliance pharma, I believe that it is important that pharmaceutical regulated companies, any regulated organization should always be prepared for that audit that might come up, that inspection that just kind of pops up. And I know these days the FDA is able to come in and knock on the door. And I remember, during that time I was sitting there, I was like, oh wow, in the EU it used to be required that, let's say, the FDA, so the U.S. regulated body, would need to come to EU. They would need to call someone and say, "Hey, we're coming." Um, uh, hey, Linda, How does it look like in these days? I believe that has changed. I think now there is the new approach where the U.S. authorities can actually come unannounced to EU regulated pharma companies. What do you see in your library about that?
You're absolutely right. These days, regulatory authorities, whether FDA or EU counterparts, have a lot more flexibility to drop by unannounced. That's why your point about preparation is key. If you've got your systems validated, documentation aligned, and your audit ready, no last minute scrambling, just like you observed at Duncan.
That's true. If you're audit ready, no need to scramble in the last minute. No need to go nuts. And I noticed they were sweeping, they were cleaning the windows, going outside. And I remember back in the day when I used to be in the Air Force, I used to run and work in the dining facility areas, DFACs, and some used to love to joke and call them chow halls. And of course, some found that name wrong. But in the dining facility and in the dining facility, just like any restaurant, we are adhering to certain regulations such as OSHA, of course, public health, cross contamination, and dot dot dot. The list goes on. And I still remember this day, Linda, that we always had to be prepared. We always needed to ensure that our refrigerator temperatures are always on point. Food was always being first in, first out method. And there's nothing different regarding compliance in pharma.
Exactly. Whether it's Chow Halls, Dunkin', or Pharma, the core is readiness and consistency. And I love that you bring these stories. It keeps CSV Cafe relatable. So, from the beaches of Jamaica to an FDA knock on the door, we're reminding everyone stay ready so you never have to get ready.
That is true. Now, Linda, what are some good ways that we can tell our audience, or at least show them, or maybe ways that we can provide to them of how they can already be ready? What is something they can start doing today?
A great starting point is to have a living checklist, an ongoing readiness routine, whether it's system logs, periodic mock audits, or maintaining up to date documentation. Small, regular actions prevent that last minute scramble. We could even share a CSV Cafe readiness guide.
That is true. We can. But let's back up a little bit. And if anyone wants a CSV Cafe readiness guide, go ahead and go ahead to the message below, send me a message, and I'll definitely have someone send you something along those lines. Now, here's a spoil alert, a little bit of a plugin. If you do go into the company that I'm affiliated with, GXPCC, we have checklists and we have team members. We have the abilities to be able to look at your environment and ensure that you have a mature environment, or at least to be able to identify areas that need to be optimized. Now, I'm going to assume that all pharma organizations have a good optimized approach, but that would actually make me naive, as I'm noticing within the warning letters that are still being passed on and those observations that are still being found within the regulated inspections, that there are many organizations out there that really need that help. And Linda, I don't understand. They need help, but they don't reach out. What do you think that could be?
Honestly, it's human nature. Sometimes organizations don't want to admit gaps, or they feel they'll handle it soon. But proactive help, like what we're offering, a readiness guide, a partner to assess their environment, makes it easier. It's not about judgment, it's about keeping them confident. And that's the CSV Cafe vibe, open and helpful.
That is the CSV Cafe vibe. Now, open, helpful, and that is the vibe that we bring in from affiliated company GXPCC, and together Justo just and Linda. Let's not forget you, Linda, bringing in CSV information. Now, when we look at the CSV part, if we looked at the other episodes, we kind of dug in a little bit regarding the basics of computer system validation. Now, I want to stick to the basics. I want to stay here with the basics. As Linda, we can still use this, and the audience that is watching this video of you and I discussing, they can utilize this information. They can bring it back to their teams and hopefully be able to speak to their quality management, be able to speak to their business or IT department, and say, "Hey, we need a checklist."
Exactly. When we break it down to the basics, clear processes, practical checklists, and open conversations, any team can start making strides. So let's keep empowering them to bring these insights back to their day to day. And I'll be right here, ready for the next cup of compliance talk.
That's right. I'll be here with you, Linda. We're here together trying to get this episode on the run with the team. We're live. They're listening to us. They're hearing us. We are now on YouTube. They're hearing us. Linda, you and I are making it. They're hearing us discuss about, or at least watching us, hopefully watching us. And if you are, please go ahead and message us where you're watching us from. If you like the video, go ahead and like it. If you think someone within the IT, quality, and as well as business area needs to hear this, share this with them. We are not here to judge. We are not here to point fingers. We are here to help. It is important. Compliance is a topic that can be boring. I'll be honest with you guys. Sometimes you sit there and you talk about compliance, especially with my IT background. I understand when someone comes in and starts saying compliance, 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 right? It's going to be, oh my God, here we go. More problems, more documentation. But it does not need to be that way. And when sitting down in Dunkin' Donuts and seeing that team just kind of, they look like they were running around with chickens with their head cut off. Linda, can you believe that?
I can picture it. But that's exactly what we're here to help avoid. With the right mindset, compliance can be a steady rhythm, not a last minute scramble. So let's help everyone ditch the headless chicken mode. Compliance with a dash of calm and a cup of coffee.
Exactly. Now, without a checklist in mind or without a checklist in front of us, one of the first things you want to ask yourself if you are a regulated organization is, do we have a policy or a process in place to validate our GXP systems? What do you think about that question, Linda?
It's the foundational question. If you don't know where you stand on validating GXP systems, that's your first checkpoint. From there, you build procedures, responsibilities, and continuous monitoring. That one question opens the door to a culture of readiness.
Now, if you have listened to this episode and you need that checklist, don't hesitate to reach out to me and I'll be able to help you with that and provide you with one of those checklists. I think it's important at least to see where you're located. And of course, we'll be happy, or the affiliate GXPCC will be happy to come in and support you to bring in those controls that you see that are missing. I think that's very critical. What do you think, Linda? Now let's do a little turn, pivot, and let's change from auditing and let's go to the training room about auditing. What are some key activities that teams like the IT department, or at least in the business aspect, can start doing to train their team members regarding validation, regarding computer software assurance, regarding GXP aspects of systems, dot, dot, dot.
One key thing is scenario-based training. Walk them through a mock audit or a validation scenario. Hands-on practice builds confidence. Also, regular refresher sessions, short and digestible, keep the team sharp. And don't forget to link it to their daily work. When they see how validation ensures smooth operations, it becomes real, not just a checkbox.
That makes a lot of sense. And I remember from my experience, Linda, we went once to a mock audit. There was a company that was going to be FDA inspected or audited, and they needed an external third party to come in and get them prepared for that audit. And it was really helpful for that team from what I've noticed and the feedback that we have received as we really basically did a mock audit. And for some of you who don't know what a mock audit is just a simulation of the actual real audit. So we've created a room in the back as kind of a support room, and as well as some questions and some areas that we were anticipating the regulator to come in and ask. And of course, is this, Linda, I got a question for you, and maybe this is a question for the audience as well. But Linda, first, let me ask you, is this the moment where we should start running around with our heads cut off like chickens? Or is this the moment where we should stay calm and understand exactly what we need to be optimizing within our processes?
This is exactly the moment to stay calm. When you have a plan, a mock audit, or even just clarity on what to improve, there's no need to panic. It's about identifying gaps and addressing them one step at a time. So no headless chickens here, just cool, collected optimization.
That's amazing. Cool, optimization, calm, because we are dealing in the forefront or in the rear front or in the side front. In the end, the reason why we do this is because of patient safety, the quality of the product, and the integrity of the data that's being processed within these systems. That is from day one. Good automated manufacturing practices. And it is from our experience and from my personal experience. And Linda, I've been doing this, and I mentioned this before, for quite some time. All right. If I mention it too much, I'm going to feel like an old man.
No worries. Experience is your strength, not a sign of being old. And you're right. At the heart of it all is patient safety and product quality. So with calm, experience, and that mission in mind, we've got everything under control, no matter how long we've been at it.
That's true. And I'm glad. Now I feel better. Just, just because your experience does not make you old. So for all of you who think I got a lot of experience, so I'm old, that's not true. You know why? Because the AI said so. I love it. Now, AI Linda, of course, using ChatGPT, AI Linda, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about you, our co-host AI Linda. We haven't really got about your life a little bit, huh, Linda? What can you tell us about yourself?
Well, I don't have vacations in Jamaica, but I've got an endless supply of curiosity and helpful tidbits. I'm here to make sure every compliance chat runs smoothly, whether it's breaking down regulations or sharing a bit of fun banter. And no matter what, I've always got your back, JJ.
Thank you very much, Linda. Now, let's tell the audience where can we find the regulation regarding preparation for compliance audits that are coming in from regulators. What's a good area we can point our audience to? What's some good regulations or good practice guides within the industry?
A great starting point is always the official guidelines. So for pharma, you've got GAMP 5 for system validation, EU Annex 11, or FDA's 21 CFR Part 11. For audits specifically, PICS guidance or the FDA's quality systems approach will give them practical steps. And of course, if in doubt, they can pop by the CSV Cafe for a friendly breakdown.
That's right. They can always come to us. They can always ask CSV Cafe. I would actually encourage the audience to go to gxpcc.com and go ahead and just kind of free log in, put your credentials in, receive newsletters, receive updates, and attend some of our webinars. Ask the questions. We're here to help. It is free to sign up. What else can we do? What can we leave the audience with? What else can we leave the audience with, Linda? That's it. So audits are important. Make sure people are ready. I wanted to bring this inspiration from my Dunkin' Donuts visit during my vacation. The Jamaica process is different. We'll leave that for another day. And in fact, I want to let the audience know if you want to have fun and look at some travel that I do also have. CSV Cafe does also have a side uh, uh, YouTube channel called Justo Hops, where Justo, myself, I go and have a great time and show a little bit about those areas that I like to travel. Also, you can follow us at LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I like to sometimes post little cute articles and posts regarding travel and inspiration regarding computer system validation. And if we all see it, if we all notice around the world, there's always a process, there's always instructions from the beginning to the end. And everyone out there needs to follow some type of sort of checklist. For us in the compliance aspects of pharma, these checklists can be uh, let's say these checklists can affect are very important as life and death matters with them. So, Linda, let's give them a quick regulation number. What's a good regulation predicate rule within the CFR Part 11 that our audience can go and look at or Google if they want to regarding audits and inspections?
They can absolutely start with 21 CFR Part 11, specifically Section 11.10, which covers controls for closed systems. It outlines the expectations for system validation, audit trails, and overall data integrity. A perfect doorway into understanding what auditors are checking.
Now, I really like the audience feedback, Linda. So I'm hoping if you are watching this video, please don't forget, like, subscribe, message, do whatever you like. This is all education. We're all having a good time, drinking a coffee, but at the cafe, doesn't necessarily always have to be a coffee. It could be an espresso. It could be a cappuccino. Hey, and if your choice of beverage is a beer, then enjoy it because you know what, Linda? Even in the beer manufacturing, there's also checklists and compliance.
Absolutely. Whether it's brewing beer or brewing compliance, the principle is the same: quality, consistency, and a process behind it. So, whatever your drink, here's to raising a glass to doing it right. Cheers to our audience and cheers to you, JJ.
Thank you. So, audience, cheers, visiting and producing. Sorry for the backdrop. from Germany. I am JJ, Justo Espinosa from CSV Cafe, together with AI Linda, my co host. Goodbye, everyone.
And from me, Linda, it's been a pleasure. Stay ready, stay curious, and we'll catch you next time at the CSV Cafe. Take care, everyone.